Hi, welcome to Tama Talks Tox. I'm Tama. I have my friend here, Dr. Tiffany Moon. She's a board-certified anesthesiologist, an entrepreneur, TikToker, mom, wife, and a cast member of Real Housewives of Dallas. She's here to tell us how to achieve success while maintaining balance. Thank you for coming. So tell me, you love medicine, you love anesthesia, and you love being a doctor. What was the transition like from being a doctor to an entrepreneur?
It was really hard because the things that you learn that make you successful in medical school, like, memorizing scientific principles and taking care of patients, taking tests, are not necessarily the qualities that translate into being a good entrepreneur. You have to have creativity, adaptability, you have to be able to think quickly on your feet. And some of those skills translated, but often they didn't. And I feel like when I became an entrepreneur, I had to have a whole new education all over again.
Well, you've done really well. You've had so many ventures, the candles, Aromasthesia, the 3 wines, the 3 Moon wines.
Yes.
The hotel too.
Well, the hotel is really my husband's business, so I can't really take credit for the hotel, but I take credit for 3 Moons wine and Aromasthesia candles, and then now LeadHer Summit.
Right, that's your last, the recent one.
Yes.
But tell me more about the candles. What gave you the idea? I love the name, Aromasthesia.
Yeah.
Yep.
I combined my love for aromatherapy and anesthesia to make Aromasthesia. So that's where the name came up with.
Right.
And I didn't know when I created it that it was going to be so hard for people to pronounce. But I was like, it's aromatherapy and anesthesia. Like, just stick it together and make it Aromasthesia.
But people have hard times pronouncing anesthesia as well.
Yes, yeah. Andy Cohen called me a esthetician.
They have a hard time with that too.
I was like, no, anesthesiologist.
They get the two confused.
Yes, which is cute. So I started making candles as a hobby, and during COVID, it became sort of a joke that I would smell a candle every day. And I'm like, oh, if I can still smell it, then I means I don't have COVID because I still can smell.
Right.
It was a joke because, I'm very
sense.
funny, haha.
You are.
And then I started pouring them, making different scents. I started labeling them on the back with like potential side effects. And I named them all after anesthesia medications like propofol, ketamine, lidocaine.
Those are the common ones. People love that one.
Yes.
Those, yeah.
Yeah, people love ketamine. So, I mean, the candle, not the drug.
Right.
It was a hobby that kind of turned into a business. Our first year, we sold 6 figures worth of candles. And I was like, oh, wow, like I'm a business owner. That was the first business that I created from scratch. That was like my baby. And then we came up with more scents. And actually, I'm coming up with the luxe line of Aromasthesia that's not even public yet. So you heard it here first.
Well, I love the bamboo.
Jasmine bamboo.
Yes.
Xanax.
Yeah.
Crowd
But
favorite.
You made it for me. Remember the sculpture candle and
Yes,
everything?
yes, I remember.
The private label thing. Yeah, I love it. It's
we
fantastic.
private label for a lot of med spas, like plastic surgeon offices, derm offices, so that they can have it at their front desk to kind of elevate the area for when the patient checks in and like comes into the space and you're surrounded by this nice scent, and then or in the treatment rooms.
Yeah.
So yeah,
people
we
ask
do
about it when they come in. What is that scent?
Yeah. People are like, what is that? Like, we have a really strong olfactory memory. That's why sometimes, like, if I smell like Acqua di Gio, which is the cologne that my high school boyfriend wore, I'm like gonna vomit. I'm like, I just smelled Acqua di Gio. No offense to Acqua di Gio, Emporio Armani. Don't like fire me from your campaigns or anything, but it just reminds me of my high school ex-boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, we have such a strong olfactory memory.
For sure. And then your wines.
Yes.
Or 3 Moons.
Yes.
I like the rosé.
Like the
rosé sparkling. It's really
the
good.
Brut Rosé, the sparkling. Yeah, we have Brut Rosé, Sauvignon Blanc, a proprietary red blend, and then a Cabernet Sauvignon, which is like our top line. Like last year, we sold out halfway through the year, and I think Wine Spectator gave it like 95 points. So it was highly rated. Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
And then the hotel's the husband, so we don't have to speak about that.
Yeah,
I love the hotel as well.
I don't have any part in the hotels except that I go and patronize the hotels and boss people around. And
It's like a boutique hotel.
It's not really a boutique, you know, because it's like JW. It's like a big brand. But we try to have it in a boutique feel, meaning that the staff really likes to know the customer's name and everyone. It's like top service. Yeah.
Yep. I love it. I like the restaurant in there.
It's so good. And the
Margaret's?
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if the
it's
weather's
nice.
not too hot. Because the bar is outside, but it's like my version of outside because it's covered. Because it's on the 11th floor. And we have these like glass windows. So you have these beautiful downtown views. But it's not like direct sunlight. Because, you know, that's not good for our wrinkles.
No, it's not.
No.
And then let's talk about the LeadHer Summit. LeadHer Summit. I love the name.
Okay. So the name came because I wanted to have the power of female leadership. And so instead of like a leader, it's lead her to signify
Play on
female
words.
empowerment. You know what? I just love a play on words. I just
I
love
know.
a good pun. So I created the summit back in like February of this year. We made a website and we started registration about April. We have over 100 people registered, which is really exciting. We have 20 amazing speakers, of which you are one of them. But basically our speaker lineup are just powerful professional women who have built businesses, come up against adversity, you know, they're resilient, and they are going to share their life lessons from their personal life and their professional life to the audience so that we can all take those tips and tricks and go back and do better things we should all be learning from each other because you know things that I don't know. I'm not an expert in that field, but oh, hey, I know someone who is, and she's going to teach us everything that she knows.
Yeah, I can't wait because like-minded women get things from each other.
Yeah.
And the networking alone, the food and the spirits you told
We just
me.
had the tasting today. My belly's very full. But yeah, the food is good because if there's one thing that I hate, it's bad conference food.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The gala.
The gala Saturday night. Wear your dancing shoes. And
The Birkin.
I'm giving away a Birkin at the gala Saturday night. I just decided, because I have quite a few, that I could part with one. I haven't decided which one, but one. And to me, you know, people are like, oh, why are you so obsessed with a Birkin? It's just a bag. It is just a bag. But to me, it's beautifully crafted. It's handmade. It's just a piece of like history and art to me. And I thought,
and
why
it's
not
something
pass that?
luxurious
Yeah.
that you want to hold on to.
And I'm like, look, if whoever wins the Birkin doesn't love the bag, you can go sell it on eBay for about $20,000.
Right.
So, and if that $20,000 gets you a vacation with your family to Europe, then that was your Birkin. If it is the starter to you having an idea for a side hustle, but you're like, oh, where am I going to get the cash to start a business? Because it takes money to start a brand new business. Sell the Birkin, start a business. That's your
There you
Birkin.
go.
I don't care, but I just want the women to, you know, have this luxury experience.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
one person's
Well, I'm
going
gonna
home with a
sign
Birkin.
up.
Yeah, I mean, you're
for
signed
the
up.
Birkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't wait, really.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun,
I think
yeah.
it's going to be an event where people see it afterwards and are going to feel like they missed out
If
because they didn't go.
That, absolutely.
So you better go. You better
Yeah.
buy your ticket because you're going to have FOMO if you didn't go. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, because sometimes I look at things and I'm like, oh, why didn't I get an
I do
invite
the
to
same
that party?
thing. I do the same thing after
Or
the
no,
fact,
I
like-
shouldn't have said no, you know, because sometimes we
'Cause
have
you
to
never
turn
know.
things
Right,
down.
right.
I'm learning how to say no more in my vocabulary because for years and years I said yes to everything and kind of burnt myself out. So now I'm very selective with the events that I go to. I end up spending most of my nights at home with my children, which is not glamorous, you know, but
Well, you have to
they're
recharge
only
and
little.
regroup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're only little for so long. So I really want to prioritize spending time with my kids now while they actually want to spend time with me, because I heard in a few years they're not going to want to spend time
That's
with me
right.
anymore. I'm
That's
being
right.
told.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, you know, we like women wellness. You like to talk about recharge, regroup. What do you think about self-care?
Oh,
Massages,
Essential.
facials,
Yep.
aesthetic treatments.
Aesthetics, absolutely. It's in the budget. It's in the calendar. It's not just like, to me, a luxury self-care or an optional. Like, it's a necessity.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
It's yeah, like I said, if it's in the budget and it's in the calendar, then it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've known you for quite a bit. You're super busy. I see you here and there. You've already have a big brand. So what's next for you?
Oh my gosh. I mean,
A book?
LeadHer Summit. Oh, yes.
I'm
Yes.
serious, a
Yes.
book.
Yes. Okay. So for years, I would go on podcasts and TV shows and just, talk to people about my life and I'm always giving people advice. Whether or not they ask for it is another question, but I like to dispense advice. And so I have a book coming out in May of 2025 called Joy Prescriptions.
You never told me this. It's kind of, I was thinking about
I
this as
know.
I was thinking about our interview.
No, I'm just telling all my secrets. Something about you makes me tell my secrets.
spill it all out.
Usually it's because you're holding a needle and I'm just like, I'll tell you whatever I want. Just, don't make my face lopsided. But no, I have a book coming out in May called Joy Prescriptions. And it's basically, I'm calling it half memoir, half self-help. Because at the end of each chapter, I dispense a joy prescription to the reader on how they can live their life with more connection, gratitude, and joy.
That's clever. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then how about like a retail store?
Oh,
brick
girl,
and
no.
mortar?
Girl,
Why?
no. I like to
Candles,
shop,
wine.
but I feel like if I had a store,
It's a lot
like
of
it'd
work.
take the fun out of it.
Yeah,
you
it's a
know.
lot of
Plus,
work.
I shop online. I don't even go to the store. I do all my shopping with clicks.
I know,
the
but it could be
UPS
like something special, something different.
Girl,
you
ain't
can have
nobody
your
got
book
time for
there,
that.
your wine there.
It'll just be the
candles there.
Tiffany Moon store. Like, what is the point of this store? Like, you have books, you have
I don't
wine, you
know.
have candles. It's a self-care store.
Yeah, there
No,
you go.
I'm not about to open a retail store. I don't want to open a restaurant. I don't want to have a podcast. See, look at me learning how to say no.
Well, you
I'm
can come on
doing
mine
it all
anytime. How's that?
I just want to go on other people's podcasts, but I don't want to have my own because then it's too much pressure and it's like adding to the list of jobs that I already have, and I already have enough.
Nice. I do have to ask two things.
Okay.
The Real Housewives of Dallas.
Uh-huh.
What are your best moments? What do you love about it?
You know, the funny thing about Real Housewives of Dallas is that my favorite moments are when the cameras were not rolling, so you don't know those moments. Like, the audience doesn't know those. Because when the cameras are rolling, you have this acute sense that the cameras are rolling. And we were often instigated to have conflict with each other, right? Like, it's not a show known for being
drama
nice.
sells. Drama is
Correct.
entertaining.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I understood that when I went on the show. So a lot of my happy moments from the show, unfortunately, are when the cameras weren't rolling and we actually were just hanging out and nobody was fighting. Like in Oklahoma on our cast trip, the cameras went down and we stayed up until like 2 or 3 a.m. just drinking and dancing and having a good time. But you never saw that because the cameras had gone down already and all the camera people had left. So the stuff that was filmed, unfortunately, there was a lot of conflict, a lot of drama, a lot of fighting, and I didn't love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And what don't you like about the show? I mean, you don't have to go into it too much, but like a general.
Mostly just that the show really sometimes pits women against each other. And there's going to be, unfortunately, and that's the truth. And sometimes, when two people are at battle with each other, there's a clear winner and a clear loser. And the thing that I always say that, like, let's not fight, like, let's lift each other up and empower each other. This isn't a you or me.
Right.
It's you and me. Like, we can both rise. Like, there's enough to go around. And if you have a scarcity mentality and you don't think there's enough to go around, then you live in that way. That's the lens through which you see life.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But I live with an abundance mindset. And so I believe there's enough to go around. So I'm not competing with you.
Right, but
that's why I share my secrets. I dispense advice freely. If people ask me for stuff, I'm not like gatekeeping. Because I think when you help other women, when the time comes, they'll help you. And that's what LeadHer Summit is about. And that's one of the primary reasons that I didn't like Real Housewives, is because of the fighting.
You've moved on to better things.
I moved on. I don't know, different things, better things, but the show, I'm grateful for it. I never want to say that, like, I didn't love my experience or whatever, because it taught me a lot and it opened a lot of opportunities for me. And so I'm very grateful. I never want to be ungrateful for the show. But yeah, there were some bad things about it too.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about the show, LeadHer Summit.
Yes.
So you guys want to purchase tickets, you can still go on LeadHerSummit.com. And if you want some discounts, you can put Lily Med Spa 400.
Yes.
Right?
Lily Med Spa 400. And you can get $400 off your registration.
And you can get a sign in for a Birkin.
Yeah, and somebody's going home, for sure, somebody is going home with a Birkin. It might as well be you.
That's right. Well, thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks for having me, doll.
It was so fun.
Yay!